Today in the woodyard, I'm going to give you a Lyme disease update. We've got a project to do. We're going to add some weight to the tractor. Here we go. First today, I'm going to talk a little bit about Lyme disease. For those of you that are watching the channel for a while, you know that I have Lyme disease, and the last time I talked about it was a couple weeks ago when I announced it basically, and that I was having treatment. I'm on meds for it, and I just thought I'd let you all know that the meds work. Fantastic. It was unbelievable the difference it made. I mean, I had no energy. I was sore. My joints hurt. My eyes ached. My hands were swollen. It was not good. I wasn't feeling good at all. So, like a lot of you, I finally went to the doctor after suffering for quite a while. Should have went a lot sooner. And the meds they put me on worked fantastic. Literally within 2 days, I felt normal. 2 days. It's just basically an antibiotic, a real strong one, and it worked really good. And today is my very last day of treatment. It was a 2-week course that I was on. 1 pill in the morning, 1 pill at night. And the pills that I was taking, you have to eat on have to take on an empty stomach. Then you can eat, like they say, 1 to 2 hours afterwards. I pretty much waited 2 hours all the time because it can be affected apparently by if you eat protein, meat, things like that, affect it quite a bit. So I'd always take a pill first thing in the morning when I woke up, and I would eat a later breakfast, and then at night I would take it before I went to bed. So, but it worked really, really well. I feel totally normal again. I got my energy back. I don't not hurt anymore. I guess the only thing that I noticed by taking this drug is that, how do I say this? I was very regular. That's about all I got to say about that. So that's what happened. So a lot of you made comments that I need to take this stuff and spray it all over. And so I bought it. This is stuff that works really good. It's Sawyer brand. You can see the name right there, Sawyer. There are some other brands, but this was the one that was suggested by a lot of you. And this was recommended by a lot of you that are outdoor professionals, guys that are surveyors, guys that are loggers, guys that are linemen, people that work in the woods all the time. This is the stuff they said. So I got it. So I sprayed the bottom of my pants, kind of from my knees down. I sprayed my ankles, and I'm going to put it basically on. Anytime I'm out in the field working, I'll put this stuff on. It's supposed to last up to 6 washings once you put it on, and it's supposed to work for ticks, chiggers, and mosquitoes, and it's supposed to kill them. So repels and kills. So this is supposed to be the stuff to use. What I like about it is you put it on your clothes. It's not something that you put on your skin, so I kind of like that. I've never been a fan of spraying stuff all over and then, number one, smelling bad and then having all those drugs on your skin that you're absorbing. So this is the stuff. So I'm going to start putting it on whenever I'm working out in the fields. I'll just keep it in my truck, and not bad priced or anything. You're supposed to be able to treat 4 complete outfits with this, but I'm pretty much just going to cover the bottom of my pants with it. And of course, always I'll still check for ticks and things like that. So everything's good now. So that's that. On to the next project. So here is today's project. I received a package. I didn't receive it, I ordered it. I paid for it. Nobody sent this to me, which, just so all of you know, and most of you probably know this, I'm not endorsed by anybody. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I just basically buy the stuff I want and I use it. So I'm not here to sell you stuff. If I have something, it's because I like it and I want it. And if I don't like it, as you know, if you've been watching the channel, I'll tell you it's terrible, don't buy it. That's just how I am. So if I start having someone to sponsor me, it's going to be because it's something that I want, something that I'm going to use. And just so you know, I will endorse it as long as it works. That's just how I am. If it doesn't, it'll be gone. So this is something I ordered. It is for the back of my tractor. It is a Titan attachment. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so I cut it open, and it's all wrapped very nicely. By the way, I should say this about the Titan company. When I ordered this online, it was unbelievable how responsive they were. It was like right away, confirmation of the order, right away, here's the expected delivery date, here's the tracking numbers. And then every day after that, I got an email. Well, number one, because they're trying to sell me more Titan attachments. So they're very good on their marketing. but also where it was, that it was okay, it's been procured from the shelf, it's getting shipped this afternoon, and then the next day your order's been shipped, it's on its way, here's a tracking number, here's when you can expect it. Then the next day it's going to be here in 2 days, the next day it's going to be here tomorrow, and then it was here right when they said. So who's ever taken care of their customer service as far as the post-ordering system they have, very good. One of the best that I've ever seen, because usually you're just kind of like, well, I hope it comes today, hope it comes today. I knew when it was going to get here, so I didn't have to even look anything up. They just had it. So here it is. It is not too heavy, but it's for the back of the tractor so I can put some weight on. That's basically what it is. Holy smokes, it doesn't want to come out. Here, I thought I had this all ready. I could just pop it out. Oh, I see why. I got to turn it around the other way. It won't slide out that way. There we go. This weighs 45 pounds or something like that, 40 something. So it's not real heavy, but it's basically a receiver hitch in the back that I can put suitcase weights on. But I looked and I did not find suitcase weights that were available that were Titan brand. Maybe I didn't look hard enough. I might have to buy something else if I do that, but I've got an idea that I think I'm going to do something that might work just as good, if not better, than buying weights. Now, originally I had thought about doing what a lot of guys do. I thought about making a weight for the back that I would hang on out of, you know, a tote or a can or something like that, like a lot of guys do, trying to be cheap, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I wanted something that wasn't going to stick way out. And after looking at, you know, what was on the market, was possible, to me this looked like the best thing for what I'm going to do. So it's got a receiver on it, so I can put my hitch onto it, so I can pull my splitter around, or the trailer, or my dump trailer, whatever I want to pull around, which is nice, so I can put that right onto the back of the tractor. It's a 3-point attachment, and I'm also going to be able to put weights on it. So I do something in my photography business that I learned, I don't know, probably 20, 25 years ago. I make weights from my light stands so that in the wind they don't tip over, or even if I've got a really big, like 4 foot by 6 foot soft box that's up on a stand really high, I can get them up, you know, 10, 12 feet and they don't tip over on you, because that can't happen. I make weights out of inner tubes, and this is just filled with sand with a zip tie holding the ends. This is a small one. This one probably only weighs, I don't know, 6, 7, maybe 8 pounds at the most. And then I got one that's a little bigger here. This was about a 20 pounder, and it's just a medium size, like a motorcycle inner tube. Is a really good size. So this is about 20 pounds. So what I did is I went this morning and I bought a bunch of inner tubes. I bought, I don't know, I got like 6 or 7 of them. And then if you see behind me here, bags of sand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these so I can just hang these over on this. I should be able to put some on the bottom and some on the top and some out the back. And I just thought I would try that, because if this doesn't work for the tractor, I will use these in my photography business for holding lights down when I'm outside, because that is an issue when it's windy, that your stuff can blow over very easily. So I'll show you what I'm going to do here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pins in on the bottom here. They just screw in very easily. Obviously they don't put these on because of shipping, because they'd stick out the sides quite a bit. So I'm just going to pop this off, screw this one in. So yeah, this weighs like 45 pounds or something like that. I could be off a pound or two, but it's something like that. And I guess I don't need that on yet. And the cost was $150, 149, something like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna screw these in. And then what my plan is to make some of the weights the size that this one is here, that will fit through this bottom area here. I should be able to put in at least a couple, maybe 3 there, so they hang down around it, and then some over the top, and then some over the top of those. And then I can put some across here, so I basically can fill up. And I figure I can get somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 pounds or so on the back, maybe 400, just by doing this. So there, I got that done. So if this doesn't work, it's no biggie, because I will use these in my other business for holding lights down. And what I plan on doing is having it so I can take them off and I can put it into my truck, take them apart basically, take all the weights off, put it up in my truck, and then I can use the, take this off and then put the trailer, put the tractor in the trailer and put all the weight up into the truck, so it takes some of the weight off, so I'm not hauling it in the trailer. I can get some weight off that way. And if I want to take it off, it's easy to move around. It's not like it's difficult to hook up or anything, and I don't have to put it on a dolly where I can move it around. I'll be able to just take it off basically in parts. And if that doesn't work, my brother, Kenny, has a bunch of railroad plates and railroad tie plates that we figured we might be able to do some type of a rigging on this where possibly we could drill a couple holes in this and we could mount them so they just kind of hang straight down. I could put a post on here and keep it really tight, really close, really low, which is what you want for your weight. And he said he's got about 10 of them at least, and they weigh at least 40 pounds a piece. That's 400 pounds right there. So maybe what I'll end up doing is we'll do a combination of the steel weights hanging on this and some of my sand baby seals, I call them, because that's what they look like, baby seals. Have some of those hanging on it too, and I'll be able to, again, take it off very easily and move the parts around, and it'll be kind of nice to do it that way. So we're gonna put this on the tractor, which is right here, right now. Okay, so this is my first time putting this on. You're seeing this live. So again, it's not all that difficult. You just slide it on. And this is part of the reason why I thought this would be kind of nice, is I'll be able to put this on and off very easily. And we'll see what happens here. So let's get this baby back. I might have to crank this out a bit. There, that's on. I'll put the pins in here. Whoops, wrong way. Go the other way. There we go, there's another one. There, well, that's on. So now we're gonna make some weights, and my plan is, I'll show you with this one, this, because it's sand in here, you can move it around and you can kind of squeeze these in, is make these like this. And if I put on, and I can just hang out the back just like that. And actually I could probably even put some on my drawbar in the back there. Well, this is a drawbar technically, I guess. But I'll put some on my bar down here. I could drape some bigger ones over that, a couple of them. But it'd be nice because these would be able to be moved very easily, and they'll just hang out the back. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I opened up my inner tubes, and these are just inner tubes. These are like 15, 16 inch tires, whatever they are. Just so I can get enough weight in each one of these. These are a little bigger ones, and then I got some that are a little bit smaller so I can fit them through the top of the receiver there, the drawbar. So what I'm gonna do is basically cut the valve off. This is what I've done in the past anyway. I'm just gonna cut with scissors, cut that off. And most of these tires, I think I paid like around 12 bucks or something like that. So this is gonna end up being a lot cheaper than buying actual weights. I'm gonna end up, instead of paying, I think you end up paying somewhere in the neighborhood of over $1 a pound. I'm gonna be able to do this for 10 cents a pound, 20 cents a pound, something like that, a lot less. And it'll be movable. So there, I got it cut, I got the valve cut off. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just gonna take it and I'm gonna cut it in half, because I'm gonna make two out of this one, because that's too long to be hanging there. So I'm gonna make two out of each of these big ones. So I just kind of cut it in half like this. And then the next thing I'll do is I'll take a zip tie and I'll fold these in. I usually just kind of zigzag them like this, like that. And I'm gonna put a zip tie on this end, and I'm gonna fill it with sand, and I'm gonna zip tie the other end. So I'll show you when I get these couple done here. Okay, so here's one that is done. I put 3 zip ties on it, and then I just put some tape around it, some black vinyl tape around it, electrician's tape, just to kind of keep it so it's on. And I've made these, I don't know, 4 or 5 times now for different purposes for my photography business, and they last a long time. I've never had one come apart yet. So again, I just kind of zigzag the end like that, and then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a zip tie, or that's what I call them. What are they called? Cable ties. That's what they're technically called, cable ties. And these are way bigger than they need to be. These are 14 inches, I think. You can get by with a lot smaller ones, but just pull it on tight, and I just snip it off close like that. And then I'm going to put another one just above that. And then we're going to put a third one on just because I don't want it to come apart. In case one gives loose. And being that this is going to be moving around a lot, because when I use these in my other business for weights for my lights, they're not moving too much. They just sit on the bottom of the stand, but I throw them all the time. I'll throw them from one room to the other if I'm going somewhere, if I'm going on a location to do a photography job where I'm going to be outside and I need some weights to hold the lights down so you don't tip over, because my lights are, you know, like $1,000 a piece. And you don't want them to tip over in the wind and get smashed. I use them when I do a lot of sports photography. I use them a lot for like when I photograph families or big groups where I need lots of lights and I'm outside in the wind and up on ladders, and so I use the weights out. So there, that one's got the zip ties on. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take the tape. I'm just going to run it around there a bunch of times just to kind of finish it off so I don't have those sharp things sticking out. There, another one's done. Another one. So there, I got these two bigger ones done here. They're not super long, but they'd be big enough. This is probably going to end up being, if I had to guess, 20, 25 pounds, maybe 30, I don't know, probably not even 30, probably 25 pounds. So then I did this one in two pieces. Now this one, I don't know if I want to do one that long. That would be too long to hang. But I could hang this from my top bar. I don't know, maybe I'll do a big one. I can always take it apart and make it smaller. Maybe I'll do one big one like this. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll do this a big one. So here we go. I'm going to cut the valve out. And I think I can get a little closer on this one. You can cut into the valve stem just a little bit. Doesn't hurt anything. So I think there's metal on the inside there, but I just cut the valve off. And that's the part that's the most expensive, is the valve. So yeah, this will be a long one. So that means this would end up hanging down. I mean, I'll give it a try. I can always put it somewhere that it's not going to be an issue. Or I can take it apart and I can make it smaller. So we'll zigzag this one now, just like the other one. Let's see, let's start on the inside here. And I just pinch it so it's nice and tight. Make sure there's no gaps in there. Like that. She's a ziggies and she's zaggied. And we'll put a zip tie on here. There's one. I'm definitely going to put 3 on this one because there's a bigger one here. Greatest invention ever. These cable ties, zip ties, whatever you want to call them. Use them for a lot of different things. There's 2. And we'll do a third one here. And if you're wondering where I get my inner tubes, my zip ties, and my tape, I go to a store that's a local box store. It's kind of a man's store. It's called Fleet Farm. Some of you have probably heard of it. I'm sure a lot of you haven't. There's also a Farm and Fleet. It's kind of like a Rural King for this area, except they don't sell tractors. So there's the zip ties on the end on that one. I'm just going to run some tape on it here. Okay, so that took, I don't know, 15 minutes to put these on. I got them all done. You can see all the ends are zip tied and I got tape on to cover them up. And so now I'm going to open this up. I already started 2 of these. This here 60-pound bags, and I got 6 of them, so that's 360 pounds. And what I'm going to do is just open up the seal down here, put the tube for the weight down here, and just kind of slide it forward and dump it in. This will be a lot easier than the last time I made them, because last time I stole sand from my kids' sandbox when they were young. That was a long time ago, because I haven't made these for a long time. But I've made lots of them, because I've made them and given them away to other photographers that either didn't have the know-how or I could see they had a problem, so I just made them a couple and gave them to them. So they work really good for holding stuff down. The nice thing about the inner tubes, from my opinion, is they last a very long time. Now I could just drape these over the top, you know, of the bar here. I could just drape a whole bunch of them over there, pile them up somehow, but they're kind of awkward. They're you know, they're not going to last forever. They're supposed to last a long time, but eventually they're going to break open. Inner tubes, I've been using them, like I said, for a very long time. I throw them all the time into the back of the truck. I throw them out of the truck. I hang them on the stands. So they take a lot of abuse, and I have never had one even come close to busting open. So I'm going to start dumping some sand in right now. Here we go. We'll get it lower and see what that does. There we go. Now I got it going. Yeah, looks like that's not working so good. Well, let's do it this way. There we go. Now it's working. They get heavy very fast. Okay, here we go again. And these bags of the quickcrete sand or mix, whatever this is, the stuff for making cement, obviously, is what it's used for a lot, or it's used for weight for traction. That's what they advertise it as. Is, well, you know, it's pouring in pretty nice now. They're like $4.50, $4.69 or something like that a piece is what I paid for them. So the way I figure it, I'm going to stop here, shake it in again. The way I figure it, I'm going to be able to make 20 pounders of these, which is probably what it'll end up with. A lot of these will be about 20 pounds a piece. Look at that sausage. I'll be able to make them for about $7, $8 a piece, something like that. So I don't know how that compares to weights that you would buy. I would imagine it's a lot cheaper. I don't know, as I'm going to be able to use them for a lot of different things besides this if this doesn't work. So we'll find out. Maybe I'll use some of them. Maybe I'll use some of these and then some steel weights also. The railroad plates. Yeah, I think that one's full. So as you can see, it's pretty full. Now I'm going to zip tie the end of this one, because you don't want them so tight that you have no room whatsoever, because you want to be able to, they kind of actually soften up over time. They get a little stretchier, and then you can, add some smaller zip ties here, and then you can move them around easier, and you can wrap them around things so that you can conform to the shape of whatever you're trying to hold down. You know, that's why it works so well on my light stands, is they're somewhat flexible, and you can get a lot of weight in a small area just by wrapping them. You can layer them too. You can stack them up pretty easily and get a lot of weight over one little bitty spot. And they work really, really nice. Everybody that I've ever shown this to in the photography business is like, oh my gosh, that's just fantastic. Because you can buy weights that are like, you know, the nylon little bags with Velcro, with straps and everything. But you get them wet and they're messy. These, just the water dries right off of them. You can throw these around, doesn't matter if they get dirty. And they last a long time, and they're cheap. They're a lot cheaper than making or buying a bag. So now I just got to find the tape. So now we're going to take the tape. I'm going to put that on the end just to cover these up. So, and then we'll have this one done. I'm in the shade today because it's about 86 degrees out. It's really warm. There. Just like a baby seal. So there it is. And you kind of work it down and you get it so that you got a narrow spot like this, and you can hang it real easy. And this is easily 20 pounds. So it's got to make about, I don't know, 20 of them. Something like that, a bunch. There they are, a bunch of baby seals. And yeah, that was a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it would take me like an hour to do it. I've been working at this for an hour and a half at least. It's like trying to do the stuff 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag. That's about what it's like. These little skinny ones, like these little ones here, are really hard to fill. The big ones, like this size right here, these 4-inchers, and then this big one here, way easier to fill, way easier to fill. But that's about 300 pounds worth. I did, I think I did 5 bags and I still got 1 to go here. So this weighs like around 50 pounds. This is like another 10 pounds. I'm gonna get another hitch like that. This is the one from my truck, but I'll get another one like this to put on here. So that right there gives me about 60 pounds. Plus what this is right here is like 360-ish. And then if I get that bag done, I got to get some more inner tubes because I'm out of bags, inner tubes. I'm going to then finish that off, and then I'll have a little over 400 pounds. And then we'll see how that works. And if I need more, I'll make more because I can stack them on there. I already tried it out. So I'm going to put them on now so you can see what it looks like. First one I'm going to start with is this great big one here. This one right here is almost a full bag. So that's almost 60 pounds. But this one's going to go up and over the top. So it's actually on the top link. So it's just going to sit right there. That's all you got to do. Actually, I could put some, now that I think about it, I could put some down on the drawbar down in there too. And I could probably put another small one up here. But I'm going to fill this all in, you'll see. So what I do basically is I can fit one of these big ones on each side. I got to kind of work it in. You got to kind of pinch it and work it and squeeze it because there's not quite enough room there. So you just give it a little pinch and you work its way in. I'm going to slide that way to the outside, try to get it so it's even. And then I'm going to take another big one. I think this one fits here. I think this is one I got in here before. So you got to kind of mash it to get it in there. I had a hard time getting it in and out, but you get the idea. Just going to work it in. This one's a little too full, so I left a little space. Almost far enough. There we go. That one's done. And then we're going to put a couple small ones on each side here. I think I can get this. Usually I can get, I think I did this before. Yeah, I can get 3 in here. That's what I was worried about, is how many I could fit on here. How many sausages? There you go. And get a couple over here. I don't anticipate taking this off hardly ever once it's on, because I'm going to be using this for lifting logs to cut, you know, with the grapple, and for digging dirt with the bucket. I'll put one over here. And I'd like to get like 500 pounds or so back here, so this is at least a start. So I'll be able to stack these up pretty good on here, I think. There's that. That's good there. I'll put a couple more over here. These top ones are nice, just drop them on, done. Yeah, there's plenty of room. I could get one here, and another one there. Maybe even like 1, 2, get 3 more on each side. So that'll be another 100 and some pounds. And then I got this fat boy here. I'll make another one of these, probably. I'll buy another one of these. If you run out of room up here, but tuck this one in there. There we go. So yeah, I could get another fat one here, and then a small one, another small one. So another 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, and then probably another 4 of the smaller ones. So yeah, that'd give me another 150, 60 pounds, something like that. Yeah, and this big one will be just fine right there. And I'm gonna show you down below what it looks like here. So there it is on the bottom. You can see, I'm gonna shrink this down a little bit so I can get lower here, but you can see on the sides, it doesn't stick out too far. It's up pretty tight. And when I lower this down, it'll still be off the ground by a good foot because I can go all the way down like to here. And I can still drop, oh, I can drop probably 2 more right here then. So probably one bigger, fat, short one right here. And then a big one here, big one here, big one here. And then a couple more small ones. Yeah, I can easily get another 150 pounds in there. So I'll be able to get this whole bag and then another bag. And that'll should be close to almost 500 pounds. And by the time I get it on there, I'll have to figure it out when I get it on there. But anyway, it's on. So there you go, sausages for the day. And if it doesn't work, I've got more weights from my photography business where I can put a couple in my truck and leave them in there. I got a couple I can leave in my back area, so bringing them outside, and then areas where I know where I go outside and do photography all the time, I can just leave them outside sitting in a spot where I can just grab them so I have to haul them in and out all the time. So I'll definitely use them. Right now I've probably got, oh, I bet I've got a dozen of them already that I use for when I go on location, and a lot of them holding my lights in my camera room where I've got great big soft boxes that I need to keep balanced so they don't tip over, because that used to happen. So anyway, there you go. You can see what it looks like. And I think that's about all I got time for today. Sun is already starting to set. I'm running out of daylight. So I think I'll finish this job either tomorrow or the next day. I don't know. We'll see. Tomorrow I got another plan. I got some work to do out in the field. I think I'm going to do in the morning. I'm going to move some wood and do some stacking tomorrow. I think that's the plan. So come on back tomorrow. It'll be fun. I know it will. So do you. Between now and tomorrow, get outside, get cutting. Good night, Irene.